Hi guys. Tonight I want to talk a little bit about strategic initiation and the importance of it. Because there are a lot of people out there who are practicing magic with no forward motion. They're basically swimming in a pool of chaos without purpose or intent. And I've done it a lot myself, because I've been a part of a lot of lodges and ordained in a coven. And I can tell you that those lodges and that coven was a very enriching experience, but I never um, I never prioritized them. My thing was always to do what I want when I wanted to do it for my purpose and intent. And when we do this, as a result, we start stirring the pot. And when we stir the pot, some of the chaos is going to spill out of the cauldron, so to speak, and start making the flames of hell hiss a little bit. We've got to understand that this is a normal part of the process. We've got to acknowledge it. Um, and the best analogy I could give, imagine walking on a path in the darkness within the woods, and you see this big boulder along the way. Okay, but you're distracted by trying to focus on the scenery around you so that you could get to where you're going, and you trip over the boulder anyway. See, a lot of times when we are working towards a sense, these things get placed on our path, and we acknowledge them as part of our lives. We see them as part of our lives because we have to function in Malkuth, but we don't understand that they have the potential, the great potential, to cause us to stumble and fall. And oftentimes these things can be wrapped in pretty packages. They can actually seem conducive to our ascent and our becoming. But that's not always the case. When it's circumstance, it needs to be acknowledged as part of the growth process. And we must keep our eyes on the work itself. We must keep our hands dirty by doing the great work. Because if not, these circumstances will distract us, whether it's issues with relationships or wealth. It may seem like a blessing, but that wealth may distract you. And now all of a sudden you're just the next miserable wealthy guy or girl. When it's a person, we need to understand that there are spiritual forces that are responsible for this. And although the person does have a choice in their actions, they're also influenced by forces outside of themselves to bring you down. So it's very important not to hate them, because hate is based in fear, and love is the law. We've got to continue to love. We've got to continue to move and not dwell in these negative circumstances. We cannot dwell in positive circumstances. We cannot be distracted by people who go out of their way to try and hurt us. We cannot allow them to cause us hate, because hate is based in fear. And as a black adept, if you want to feel fearful, you will undo yourself. That is one of the most important things that I've learned working within the material of the Order of Phosphorus. You see, the universe is always expanding, and the consciousness has to expand with it. If it doesn't, you're not ascending, you are stagnant, and oftentimes you will start to regress. When these people and these circumstances go out of their way to hurt you and harm you, when they close the door on your love and your compassion, it is important to continue to exercise that love and to spread it elsewhere. You've got to look beyond this, you know, beyond self, because essentially, ascension is the path of the magus. And what people forget is the magus was responsible for his people and his community. He persuaded the gods to work in their favor. He helped the people when they were in need. He destroyed their enemies when it was needed. But nowadays it's not perceived in this way. People are so interested in bettering their own life. But if you're not helping to better the world around you, your life really cannot be that great. Um, you're only going to get so far. And then what you have can be stripped from you. It can be pulled out from under you like a rug. Because it's not based in the totality of reality. You know, this is very important advice. It is important to stay focused on self, sure. But it is also important to stay focused on the work at hand and to not be too distracted by life's circumstances. It is a must that we continuously ground so that our spiritual progress can begin to bleed over into our physical world. And as this happens, there's a lot of painful change that may take place. And the more you fight it, the worse it gets. There are many risks walking the path of darkness. Plenty of opportunities to fall. And that is why I quit making the material, well, some of the material from Liber Dozak public, because there's just simply too many nooses. I honestly feel like no one's going to be able to complete that work and understand it for what it is. I know I will. And I'm not saying that I'm better than anybody, but it's hard. It's vicious. With that being said, I just wanted to speak about this because I know that there's a lot of people out there that have no idea of what order to join, what lodge to be a part of. And although these lodges and these groups are not necessary, they will help you to see things more clearly. They will help you to focus a bit more because you can learn from other people's experiences, and you have those people that can look at your circumstances as you face these demons between initiations, and they can see it for what it is from an objective point of view. For those that are initiating self, Don't swim in the chaos. Map out your initiation and perform initiatory rites when certain goals are achieved as landmarks. Don't just open up grimoires and start doing rites for the sake of doing rites. That's a dangerous thing to do. I love you guys. Keep your head up. Stay strong. Devour, destroy, become, or be crushed.